Hungary has trolled Britain and other European countries over fears Christmas markets could fall victims to terror attacks. Prime Minister Orban unveiled a video showcasing the safety of Budapest's markets, writing, "A Brusselian fine of €1 million a day for keeping illegal migrants out. We'll pay it. For our safety and yours. Better than living in fear. This Christmas, experience Europe the way it should be in Hungary." This week, I've reported vandalism against nativity scenes in Belgium and France, as Germany and the UK also step up security around Christmas gatherings.
Last week, a week ago in fact, the nativity scene was vandalised. The chalet housing the nativity scene, as you explained, had its plexiglass smashed, the figurines trampled, and the baby Jesus decapitated. This nativity scene had been a fixture at the Christmas market for over 30 years, created by volunteers from the neighbourhood committee, and had been there for a very long time. This happened amidst the general indifference of the national media, who remained completely silent, even though it was yet another anti-Christian act.
And what do you know about the person who did this? Do you know?
Apparently it was a fringe element who committed this. We have no information today, a week later, on whether or not he has been arrested, which also raises questions about the effectiveness of security measures in the city of Amiens. But even if it's a lone individual or a group of people, it's still the Christmas nativity scene that was targeted, not Santa's grotto with fake presents. Nor was it the reindeer's grotto. It was the nativity scene itself that was chosen as the site that was attacked, and therefore it's not insignificant. In other words, if this lone individual had attacked or targeted a mosque, for example, or a synagogue, it would rightly have been called anti-religious, Islamophobic, or an anti-Semitic act. But when it's a nativity scene, it's dismissed out of hand and labelled a mere news item. No, we must call things by their name. We must use the appropriate words, and this is an anti-Christian act that was committed just as the Christmas market was being inaugurated.
How did the left react?
The left hasn't reacted. That is to say, today the local MP, the far-left MP, has had absolutely no reaction to this. On the other hand, of course, they react to the stupidity of other anti-religious Islamophobic acts that have occurred elsewhere in France. But every time it's a nativity scene, a church, or a cathedral that's targeted, the left never reacts. And that's also a problem. There's always a double standard. Today, churches, our cathedrals, our nativity scenes, our cemeteries, beyond simply being Christian, are part of our heritage, part of our identity, part of our culture, and it's essential to defend them.
And do you feel as though Christian culture is under threat in France?
Yes, I think so. We can see that there's a woke tendency that seeks to erase the very name of Christmas. For example, some markets today are called diverse markets, so why not simply call them Christmas markets? We must also acknowledge that there's a political faction, at least one led by a certain segment of the left, that seeks to erase our traditions, erase our identity, our French, Amiens, and Picardy identity. It is therefore crucial that we mobilise to reclaim our pride in being French, pride in our traditions, and pride in our culture.
Austria has also seen pro-Palestine marches at markets. Police are urging the public to stay vigilant in the lead up to Christmas. Nick Dunning, GB News.
We're living in a time of what feels like pretty significant social change, and it makes us question things that we've even taken for granted for decades. And one of those at the moment that people are wondering about is actually money. Is the money in your bank account safe? Should you be investing elsewhere? Are we looking at a potential global crash? What will it mean for your savings? Is there a way that you could be using your money that might be outside of government control even? Well, TallyMoney is potentially one solution. So I'm delighted to say that I'm joined today by the CEO and founder of TallyMoney, Cameron Parry. What is TallyMoney?
Well, at TallyMoney, you basically get gold you can spend. So we give people an individual account in their name, everyday account. They get a sort code, an account number. They use that account just like they would pounds from their bank, but it's milligrams of gold that we brand as Tally.
Okay. Why would you do that, though? What is the benefit to the customer instead of just having a normal pound sterling account?
Gold's performance against the pound is above 11% per annum over the last 25 years on average. But we still need money in our daily lives, and we have savings. We know that it's good common sense and prudent to save up for things, not just living credit. You know, whether it's a holiday or a rainy day, your retirement planning, you need to have money in your life, basically, that you can rely on, that's dependable, that nobody meddles with, that nobody can weaponize against you, which is another element of government control when it's the government currency, which we could talk about another time. And it should be pretty simple and straightforward, and that's what we deliver at Tally. And really, we just want people to feel safe and happy with their money. There was a time when the bigger your bank balance, the more confident you felt. Now it's like, I need to do something with it. I can't leave it there. In Tally, you can.
Okay, brilliant. Cameron Parry from TallyMoney. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bev.
The Palestinian flag was flown from the votive church, causing outrage. Fears have been raised over the security of celebrations across Europe in the run-up to Christmas. Markets across Germany, France and the UK have seen barriers erected around the perimeter, and armed police are set to guard them. Last year saw a terror attack in the German town of Magdeburg, which killed 6, including a 9-year-old boy, and injuring 323. German councils say security costs have risen 44% in just 3 years. What's been described as a huge security operation is underway in Britain, as Christmas markets come under a terror alert. Counter-terror police have urged the public to turn detective and report terror suspects in the lead-up to Christmas. Tip-offs went up by 50% last year, but officers say they need the help to spot potential terrorists who might plan to attack Christmas crowds. Security services have identified Christmas markets, shopping centres, concerts and pantomimes as potential sites for an attack. Last year, John Savell from the Metropolitan Police gave this advice.
The public are our eyes and ears. Without public support, the vigilance actually makes our job an awful lot more difficult. So that's why we encourage people to just be aware, be vigilant. If they see a person or something that they think they're not quite sure about, then contact the police.
Nick Dunning, GB News.